It's reality recap on a Friday night. I am your host, Crystal Jordan, and you guys know for reality recap, we're ready to love our other half. My other half of the show is, of course, our guy, Pajama Mo.
Pajama Mo, what's up, y'all? What's up? Happy Friday. What's up, Crystal?
Hey, I like that color. Oh, what is that? It's like a silverish blue.
That's what I'm gonna call it.
No, I like that. That's a nice color. I like it. It's still different.
I appreciate it. Thank you. But what's up, everybody? What's up? I know y'all can't wait.
Oh wait, they here. They are here. Hey, Latasha. Hey, you guys, let us know where y'all are here at a minute 31 in. I am not mad. Look at the numbers. I'm glad you guys come on in. Before we get into tonight's episode, I can tell you, Mo and I were going back and forth waiting to come in. So we know everybody has got a lot to say, but I thought it would be fun because fashion is not something that we have talked about in Philly at all. And so I thought it would be good to rate the fashions. Let's start out by rating the fashions on the women. I guess we could do ladies first, right? Ladies first.
Yeah, why not? That's only right.
Okay. All right. So of the ladies that we got a chance to see tonight, first off, we had Kiara. That's not the best picture of her, but
yeah.
I had to take screenshots. All right, first we had Kiara, then we had Tae, then we had Sahara. And that yellow dress went all the way down to the ankle. I do just want to point out before we get into the rating that this is a gold necklace and a silver hoop. I just wanted to point that out. That's neither here nor there, but I just wanted to add that to the information, right? So that is a silver hoop and a gold necklace. Here we have some cutouts with no necklace. And then here we have a glittery dress with a nice gold earring. So Mo, who has got your best pick for tonight with the ladies?
By default, we're gonna go with the off-the-shoulder, so sparkly thing.
All right, so you're saying Tae was the best dressed?
By default, because I hated all of them, just to be honest with you.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I was okay with Tae until I saw her shoe. And the shoe didn't look like it matched that dress. Actually, I thought it was a flip-flop, but it had a heel on it because it had the top like a glittery flip-flop. And then it looked like it needed a puffy ball.
Was it a kitten heel?
It was not. It was not. It was a full heel, but it did not. The heel, and you know how you have like a slide? It looked like slides, and she was walking like she was wearing slides. Did y'all notice that?
That was my problem with all of them. I was like, these women from Philly do not know how to wear heels.
I did. The dress was cute, but the shoes did not match the dress. I really thought, because I sat up and I was like, does she have on flip-flops? And then I was like, nah, it's a shoe that looks like a flip-flop on the top, but it has a heel on the back. Man, my eyes water. So I'm gonna go with her too, though. I'm gonna go with her too. I'm gonna say this. This dress was not bad. The color looked really pretty. I almost feel like it might have been a tie because I couldn't see her shoe, but the color was pretty. I just couldn't get past the gold and the silver. And it just looked like the dress was kind of accidentally thrown on. It didn't look like she styled the dress. It looked like she was like, let me put this on. So
I can see that.
Yeah, but it wasn't a bad dress. I will say that the level of dressing with this season has been a little different than other seasons. I mean, these are definitely different. I mean, because it's like, even with this dress, was not a bad dress. I don't think it was a particularly flattering dress.
Not for her shape. It was her shape that was wrong.
Yeah, I'm sorry, it wasn't flattering on her, but I mean, you got a lot of neckline up here. Why can't we do something here? Why is there nothing here at the neckline?
Why can't we cover the neckline?
So I would say a close tie, Tay, Sahara, and then Kiara. All right, now let's go to the gentlemen. First of all, why is Jay in a t-shirt? Jay said, I don't care if it's the finale, I'm coming casual. And I want to point out that he had brown, not khaki, not chocolate, but brown slacks on the bottom.
Yeah, he had doodle brown slacks, which did not, I don't know.
It wasn't chocolate, it was not khaki, it was definitely doodle brown.
Right.
I would not make it. Okay, and then next we had Cisco.
Now Cisco wore a tuxedo suit. He just haven't got the jacket on, but that's a full tuxedo.
It is, and I'm not. I'm
not mad at it though.
I think it looked nice on him. I say it looked nice. He filled it out right. I want to point out the shoulder area.
It looked right. It looked like he was actually at a wedding, so it was kind of appropriate. I'm not mad at that.
Yeah, I thought it looked good. And then Cam. What do you say about Cam's?
I don't mind Cam. Cam is not. That's not bad.
Yeah, it looked better than the beginning.
Yeah.
I think this is a better look. I thought it looked good on him.
Yeah.
Again, it was, I think when men have on a suit, it looks nice when it fits them properly. I love the way this suit fit him. It wasn't too tight. It wasn't too loose. I'm not really a fan of men wearing like mauve and pink, but I think this looks good on him. I liked it. I liked it
as well. That will be just because what's the name, how he fills it out. It looked like he was really for the moment. I'm gonna give it to Cisco and then Cam. Cam a close second.
Okay, I'm actually gonna agree with you. I thought Cisco looked and I also want to point out that Cisco's flowers were beautiful. They were all different colors of roses, red, pinks, brilliant, really pretty. He had the traditional red roses, but at least he had roses. I don't know what this box was. We never got a chance to see what was in the box. But I'm gonna say Cisco and then Cam, and I don't want to talk about Jay. I don't even want to talk about it. I feel like he just did a disservice to himself and his lady because he just did not even try.
That's a fact.
And she did not look like she belonged with him.
Never did to me.
All right, so that's, let us know if you agree with us. We said Tay, I said Sahara a close second, and then Kiara, and then we both said Cisco, and then Cam, and then Jay does not count.
Yeah, we ain't even putting him. Yeah,
I want him to throw those pants away. You should never wear brown pants. They weren't slacks. They weren't jeans. They were pants. I didn't like it. Okay, all right. Let's get into tonight's episode.
Yeah.
Yes. Where should we go first, Pajama Mo? Where should we go?
I think it's safe to start at because the way it went, we could start at Jay.
Oh, but you know what? Why don't we talk about the people that left? Angie and Hussein, because they didn't make it to the second half of the show. So I want to say that Hussein should have kept Rose. Because I think that they sent Rose home because they didn't like what she did. But I don't feel like any of them had a real connection with Angie.
They did. You got it.
Well, I just feel like Hussein, maybe, do you think he let the peer pressure get to him?
I think I think he jumped the gun with Rose. I don't think what Rose did, like watching it back the second time, because I watched it again, and it's two kind of lies or deceptions, right? It's the deception or the lie based on protection, and there's the one based on deception.
Okay.
And she was based on protection. I don't think she was trying to be funny, you know what I mean, and be messed slick. I don't think that's what it was. You know what I mean? And I think they kind of jumped the gun. Like now, just as he did, I reacted off emotion the first time when I saw it.
Okay.
But sitting back now, and when I rewatched it an hour before the show came on, I did look at it a little different. You know what I mean? I really did. And I was like, yeah, you could, like, you might take away a point or something, but to ask somebody when you had that kind of bond.
Right.
Now, if it was your second, I maybe can understand that a little bit better. But for your first, they had to have done something very, very, and I don't think it was necessarily on some sneaky stuff. I just think it was on some protection type stuff. Me personally.
Yeah.
And then what's the name should feel offended?
Who?
Because the fact that you take yourself out, that lets me know that she really wasn't considered.
That's what I'm saying. And that's why I feel like the guys did a disservice. They didn't play the game right, because they should have sent Angie home, because nobody was really feeling her. Like I was thinking, I was wondering how Hussein was like, because they both needed to pick out of their, they needed to make a decision. And I was like, Hussein don't really like connect with her like that. He really had a connection with Rose. And I'm not saying that I didn't like what Rose did. Right. And that's what I didn't like. I understand not wanting to talk about, thank you, Under the Olive Branches. I understand not wanting to talk about it, but the fact that she doubled down and did not take accountability, that bothered me, because she flipped it and was like, because I watched it again too. She flipped it and was like, well, you were in there with Sahara when Cam asked her about it, as opposed, and she said, I don't feel like I owe him any explanation. Like Rose, to me, all the season long was she felt like she should have been the top, and she should have had both of them. She should have been both of those guys' tops. She was not being authentic. And then when she got called out, she did not just take accountability. She basically flipped it on Hussein. It's like, you're making my makeup run. No, you making your makeup run, because he asked you a question. He wasn't mean about it. He was very honest. And then even when Cam started, if you notice in her confessional, she was like, I don't feel like I need to owe him any explanation. If he wants to know, he can ask. And then when he asked, instead of saying yes and taking accountability, she flipped it and was like, well, how come you stayed in the room with Sahara when I picked Hussein, which really is none of your business. Once you decided, she came to the thing ready to stay with Hussein. So you can't just do that. I just didn't like her attitude.
Nah. What you're saying is right. Like, I give her no grace with Cam.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But with Hussein, even when he said it, the first thing she said was, you know what? First off, let me apologize.
Yeah.
And once you start there, I listen with different ears.
Okay.
Listening to try to understand, opposed to you be like, well, you did and getting defensive, then my frequency isn't on understanding at that point. So I'm trying to work with her. Cam, I have her and Cam, no grace, no nothing with that. It's just like, listen. But the confusion part is where we get to the she bought Cam stuff. So that's when you have to really start her character. Because you got to explain that. And I hope they bring that up in the reunion, because that's where I get confused. Okay. Obviously, because even with Hussein, she said, and I really, like, she was more hurt by Hussein.
Yeah, because she liked him more. But you notice that she brought him clothes because she wanted to keep him. That was like a little toy to keep him connected, right? Here's some stuff to keep you connected, to make you think I really like you, so I can keep everybody running after me.
Or maybe to keep them occupied. Here, you play with this while I go play with that.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Now, I know we all saw the clip of the reunion next week, and we will be here. It's but to me, this is the thing. This is what I got to say about this, and then I'm going to go to Angie. If Rose was that type of a woman that she tried to present herself as, because you notice when she got ready to leave, she was like, they don't really know Rose, and because they don't really. Okay, so if you really are that type of woman, the fact that you put Hussein's business out on national TV like that was wrong, because you obviously you don't mind. You have an ex that's in jail, so the fact that you tried to put him out there, you're just trying to shame him. And it was ugly because she was like, well, you've been to jail too. You just should have taken accountability for what you did. And the way she did it, I just feel like it just shows that this whole Zen Erykah Badu image was not real.
You're right. Oh, you're 1000%. It wasn't. And just like we were talking about, every episode, her rose petals kept falling off.
I like that.
And I just, okay, we're getting to see them, but let's be real. A lot of people, we always talk about people coming in with their representatives, right?
Yeah.
We're watching this not in real time, but we're watching this episode by episode, and we're seeing what she showed us, because even the first date that her and Cam had, I went for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Show you, like, take your time with people. You know what I'm saying? Get yourself in enough situations and allow yourself and them to be comfortable as you go. Don't rush things, because when you rush things, you're going to skip over something.
Yeah.
And this was a perfect example of that. So I just want to say that.
Yeah. And I think that even when they brought up the fact that Kiara mentioned that her children's father was in jail, and he asked her, why didn't she take that opportunity? She just backed up. She would not just take accountability for the fact that she didn't feel comfortable sharing it. And that would have been an okay answer, right? Just be honest, and just the jig is up. The jig is up, bros.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's move on to Angie. I knew you were enjoying it, because I always feel like that's why we do this with a man and a woman, because when her brother said, you could be scaring off love, you scared him. The brother got to it right off the bat. The sister was like, what? And the brother was like, you are scaring him. And he didn't just say him. He said, you could be scaring love away. And then he said, you probably are too spicy for him. So obviously they do use that word spicy in that part of the country. But yeah, the brother just automatically, you could tell the brother understood where Cam was coming from, with Angie doubling down about the busting the windows out the car.
Yeah, I mean, I would assume that anyone could but to each his own. But the brother did get it, and I think even before that, I think as soon as the brother saw him, and I saw that, I think the brother was like, okay, the brother liked him.
Yeah.
The brother liked him and respected him. And I think with it's tough, man, because you just never know. Different people bring out different emotions. And he might not ever take her there. But for a man, the possibilities of, because the thing that triggered Cam was not the fact that she did it, but when he asked her, would she ever do, because we all make mistakes and realize what we've done is wrong. But her thing was, and he brought it up there, would you ever do it again? And that's when it was like, it just didn't sound like a mature, it was not, well, I can communicate better, or I just leave him alone, or I don't know, we'll see. But she was just straight up doubled down on it and said yes. Woo! It's tough.
But you know what? I would rock with Cam with that. But the fact that I feel like Sahara would have admitted to doing the same thing.
Now that's what I definitely said.
That's what I don't understand. It's like you charging Rose with something that I feel like we all believe Sahara has busted windows or shot windows or beat. She's definitely done some physical violence to some belongings.
I believe she's done worse. Man, I've been saying, I'm like, I don't know what he was, how he was feeling, and the brother feels the way he feels. I can't, but I was just like, you seem like a brother that got it together. You know what I'm saying? You wasn't out here wilding too much, and you might have had your fun or made a few mistakes, but it just seemed like you got yourself together now, whatever that is. And for you to like that, and then the sisters kind of explained it. Well, the cousin and the daughter, and I was like, oh, that's his past. And then it just made sense. And some people, it's hard to shake that past. You know what I'm saying?
It probably is, but it was about to need to be shaken again, as we all found out tonight. So let's get into it, Ma. Where did you say you wanted to go first? You said Jay?
Yeah, wanted to get into Jay. I mean, more mild one out of.
Oh yeah.
Have a question.
Yeah, Jay. I like Jay. I don't like Jay's hair or Jay's clothes, but I do like Jay. I feel like when we saw him, we saw where he comes from, and I think that Jay really wants a relationship. I feel like a lot of people come on here and they just playing in our face, but I really do feel like Jay is a authentic guy, and I appreciate that. What did you have to say about Kiara's cousin saying that he was flirting just because he was the way he talks? Like, how did you feel? It was a lot. I don't know any guy that would have felt comfortable with all of the families, but what did you think about that?
I think that he handled it well.
Yeah.
He didn't get too defensive. I give him credit for that. Yeah. My only problem with Jay is I'm not sure if he's battle tested yet. I don't base it on Ciara.
Why do you think? What makes you think that? What makes you think that?
I think Ciara was the appetizer to his distraction. I think if something else came through, I would want to see that. And there's no way you could determine.
You're saying that maybe he didn't have another girl that he was really attracted to.
No, I would want to see him under pressure with another woman to see how he really, really moves. Like, I see how he moves with Sahara, but a lot of dudes will move a certain way on what's there and what's on it. You see what I'm saying? But if the pressure was on him in another environment, no cameras, how would you really? I don't know, because he said he had a flirtatious demeanor, but he's not flirtatious. That's just his demeanor.
Yeah.
That show is, broadcasted all over the world and whatever. You're gonna get a different type of attention, and there ain't gonna be no cameras.
Yeah.
To handle that, because you couldn't handle it on camera.
He could not.
That's my question. That's my thing with him. It's like I'm with him, and I wish the best for him. I just seen what happened when cameras are around, so it makes me question what's gonna happen when cameras aren't around, and the chick looked twice as better than her.
Yeah. Lydia says I don't see what Kiara sees in Jay. I think she like Jay is cool. Like, I like his charisma, like his personality. When we met his family, I understood where he gets that solidness from. You have a point, because I don't think he handled the situation with Sahara well, but I also think that he was just trying not to. I think there's a certain amount of pressure when you're there. I don't think he wanted to hurt Sahara's feelings. And I think he was trying, all the guys were trying to keep, except Cisco, were trying to keep up with, hey, G baby. They were trying to keep up with, I'm not trying to be all the way locked in. I think he was just trying to, I don't think he really liked Sahara at all. I don't believe that he was attracted to her at all.
Even if you did, you don't go smacking somebody's butt, though. That's
true.
That's where it comes a little like, okay, it's one thing to like give someone your attention and listen, right? Mm-hmm. They're talking to you and you're listening. But once you start taking physical acts and smacking their butt, I don't care if they poke it out or not. I don't care what they do. You're in control of you.
Yeah. So you would not smack Sahara on the butt if she poked it out.
No. I was about to say something. Oh, no, I would not. And if I'm saying someone's my number one, like I said, I might be guilty of having a conversation with somebody. That's all you're ever gonna get from me. But you're never gonna get anything physical. No, you know what I'm saying? We're not doing that.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. I felt like the fact that she keeps talking, she seems like the type of chick that's going to give you a really hard time. She loves bringing up when she launched back into that whole scenario. Every time she sits down, I was just like, girl, like it's enough. It's enough.
That's on that man's patience, because I'm glad you pointed that out. She brought it. It's her second time.
It may be third, because she brought it up in the lounge.
I'm ready to say technically third, but they're supposed to bring it up in the lounge.
Facts.
So technically, you're right, third. And I was thinking the same thing. I was like, oh, she gonna be one of the ones that's gonna keep up. They're going, because to me, I believe if you forgive, and I'm not saying forget, but you have to be careful when you mention it, because it doesn't seem like we're moving forward. Anytime you
notice, there's a little key to that. She said, when I talk about it, I get mad all over again. And that is the problem, because you could tell when she was telling her cousin, when she brought it up tonight, she started getting heated.
I'm glad you said that, because that's what I don't like. I've been in situations with women, and we can talk about something from the past, but while we're talking about it, it's the energy as if it's happening in real time now.
Yeah.
And like, nah, man. I can see you talking about it, but you're giving me the energy like I just did it or it just happened. Nah.
I also feel like she's the type that is just, she pulled it out so long on the trip. Like, I wish she would have went home. All that pouting and in the bed and I don't want to talk to you. It was just a lot for me. And then to keep bringing it up, it's just like, if he ever makes a mistake, and does she make mistakes?
Well, she more a mistake with that dress on. We can start there. I'm just saying.
Mistakes made the whole season. Oh, the whole season with the clothes. Yeah, I didn't like. Yeah, so Tammy said she gonna run to her family about everything. She ran to his mama about that. I would never have brought it up to his mom.
You know
she
what?
Brought it up immediately to his family.
That's a great point. So if oh man, woof, that brother gotta have some patience, and he gotta know whatever happened in your house, at least her whole family's going.
His too, because she brought it up to his family and told everything. And you could tell when he walked up, he knew she was getting ready to start talking about it. She was getting ready. He knew that it was already, and they were like, you want to just tell us about it? And then he just was like, well, he started again. I was like, I am sick of hearing this.
Know what's funny about that? A brother like Cam, if they would have been like, you want to talk about it? He would have been like, nope.
Yeah. That's true. But Jay just goes back. Now, people are saying, I don't think production is making her bring it up, Tiffany, because again, I want to point out that she said she was getting angry all over again. And that's what was happening.
I just thought about something. I got to, in her defense, he said everything was going right, but that little something that we had.
When did he say that?
No. When he sat down with them, he did say, at a certain point, I forget how he phrased it, we were good from there on. And then it became, well, what happened before? And then he got it. And he actually...
No, she was talking about it before he came in. She was bringing it up. They were in conversation about it. They were talking about it when he walked in. Because she said, I remember because she said, man, I'm thinking about it right now. It's making me mad. They were talking about it, and then he walked in.
But while they were there, they didn't mention it, and maybe it would have come up.
Yeah.
But I noticed they was like, so how was, because they said how was the trip or the vacation, whatever they did, the excursion. They asked him how it was, and he's like, well, from this point to this point, it was good. And then what happened from there before? And that's when they got into it. Now they might have known.
They did know because she talked about it. But it's and I know we all have different notes. But I do remember that part because I wrote it down. The fact that they're talking about it and he walks in, and I wondered, did he overhear it or what? You know what I mean? But in any case, under the olive branch, she said, did you notice when Tommy said that the women had to bring their family? She didn't seem like she wanted to bring her family. Something must be up with that. Then her cousin showed up. I didn't notice that. I don't think anybody really wanted to bring their family in Philly, except for Jay. Everybody had different family. It was just, it was a lot of different things happening.
I respect, even seeing Jay where, you have the mother, the father, cousins, I think one sister, I thought that was dope just to even see on TV.
Mm-hmm.
Mother and father still together. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was.
That type of energy. But like I said, I don't know if Jay is. We'll see by the time of the reunion. I don't know because my only is if he did what he did on camera, what would he do with more attention and there's no camera? I'm not going to do anything. I'm just saying that leads me to I don't know how settled that is. I don't know.
I do think he likes Tae. He likes Kiara a lot.
No, 1,000%. Or is it one of? Yeah, he does. He does. I ain't even gonna question it.
What was you gonna say?
No, is it one of them stations? But I don't think so. But I'll say it anyway. You like me, so I like you, and you're the that kind of thing. Because did you have another connection?
I didn't think so. I think he just liked her immediately from.
He said that. Now I want to take that from him. He did say that.
Yeah, I remember on the first one because y'all remember she said the my man thing from the beginning. They didn't really have any connections with other people, either one of them.
Did she have much of a choice? If we're gonna keep it real, y'all, we found.
What exactly are you saying?
Who else was on her coattail?
Well, we don't know. A lot of gentlemen went home that I don't feel like should have went home. We don't know. Eddie might have wanted to date her.
You need to tell me. Eddie? Who else?
Eddie. Maybe Khalil? I'm not going to do that. Naeem?
Even with the kids, I don't think so.
I do. Are you trying to tell me that Sahara? Well,
exactly. See, you getting around to it.
No, I'm just saying. So are you trying to tell me that Sahara had more choices than Kiara?
Yeah, I'm knowing that. Yeah.
How?
I don't think it's. She just did.
How? I'm asking how. Show us the way. I think she's cute too.
Y'all seen what? We all looked at the same thing, man.
Yes, we did. But we all interpret things different. I don't know what you're getting at.
I just think those two were the best fit for each other.
I think they liked each other from the jump. Miss Wilson says she's beautiful but childish. I think a lot of people were childish in the cast. A lot of it. You know what I mean? And can I just say, Deanna wears that wig in the reunion. I'm sorry, I just thought about the wig. I'm sorry.
That's what I'm talking about.
I didn't know that. I was just like, oh my God, the wig is back in the reunion. Yikes.
Let me just say this. Ciara did not.
You said what?
Ciara did not.
Rose.
Like,
You know what? Come back, because next week is all going to be about fashion. We're doing it. I'm going in. I'm going to treat them. I'm not giving them a pass because it's Philly. We're going to talk about all this, every outfit, just like we do other seasons. I'm not giving them no passes.
That's right.
Now, let's ask why Tommy comes in. Hey, he always does the same little walk. It's very strange.
I wish I could stand up and do the walk. What I know is with the shoulders high.
What is that?
And hands pointed down like this.
And then he was like, all he told him is that they were going to have to why did he give the speech to Tae and Cisco in front of everybody? Why did not he take them to the side?
Which was funny because they still didn't get it, and they should have, because he was like, oh, I felt like that. He was talking to me. He damn sure was talking to you. Who else was he talking to?
He said Tae and Cisco. He did. He said it.
But his confessional, he was like, man, stop breaking down to it. It felt like he was speaking to me. Nigga, he was.
Consumer O said it's a 1970s shuffle. It is. It is. Oh my God, he does it every time. And his hands aren't down. It is. I don't know why he does that. But so, okay, what do you think about, we talked about this, I put up the clip. What do you think about what Tommy said? A lot of people have dissected it. He said, I just want you to know, when I got with my wife, I didn't have anything. She let me drive her car, gave me everything, and now my baby don't have to want for nothing. And Cisco was like, talk that talk.
See, at that part, if I was next time, I'd be like, hey, man, chill, don't relax. You're taking it too far.
He said, talk that talk. And I was like, it's not the appropriate time. That wasn't the appropriate. It wasn't the appropriate time.
You're supposed to shut up and play stupid. Like, who he talking
I was like,
hey, can I turn? Hold on, it's hot. Can I turn on the ceiling fan for? Can I walk away for 1 second?
Of course. Of course. Do you talk that talk? Do your thing. Oh my gosh. Whew. Yo, why did he say that? I didn't understand why did he, you know, first of all, Tommy was only talking to you. Why did you like it appeared it was for the whole room? What was he doing?
That's what bugged me out. I was like, he was like, his confessional was like, yeah, I felt like he was talking to me. Who else was he?
Oh, talk that talk. Nobody else in the room was nobody else in the room was affected by it. Nobody else needed to hear it.
Right.
And I just want to know what you think, because that is not the same thing. What I learned something about Cisco tonight that I did not know. First of all, Tommy was in college. Most people don't have a lot in college, especially boys. Like the daughters, okay, people may give, some people spoil their sons, but more people spoil their daughters. When I went to school, my uncle bought me a car, and they looked out for me. Some of the guys didn't have cars or whatever. It's not the same in your early 20s and teens, late teens and early 20s, as it is in your early 40s. That's not the same. I feel like it's not the same. I also want clarity, Mo, because Cisco said that he wanted to chase his dreams. And so I want to know what dream, did you hear that? Because he was like, he said that she had a problem with his career choice. This is when he was talking with her family, and he said, but he in his confessional, he said he also wanted to chase his dreams. And I put that down in my notes because I need to know what dreams those were. Cisco mentioned wanting to chase his dreams, so maybe he isn't working much because he wants to do bodybuilding full time or acting.
That's what I gathered. That's what. And I only gathered that based on the photos you put up, and that thing. So I guess that was his thing, but that's no. I mean, life still goes on. I think Tommy should have either brought her in there or really need to bring them in there together.
Yeah, not in front of everybody else.
Because everybody knew what it was, and it was just embarrassing. It's on national TV, because that's going to be the butt of the joke for that brother. And I don't think that's right because things can change.
And y'all calling him Buff Brokey. We do not abide by that. We're not going to call him that. But I do want to, and then Jay got up and gave him a hug. It was like, he did. He got up and gave him a hug. And then Tay came over and gave him a hug.
So imagine, but okay, so we're saying that. Imagine the pressure on her.
She didn't worry about the pressure.
No, but think about that though. The pressure on her to like, oh, now that Tommy said this is on national TV.
Gotcha. Yeah.
On her to say to not.
Yeah.
Or to go. I don't think that's fair to do that. And the one thing, if it's just me, but you put it in front of the room, then you put it on TV. It's like I don't think that was cool.
I agree. Yes, and thank you, Sean. Hey, welcome. We haven't seen you in a while, Sean. He's doing the Rise coffee commercials. Those are not commercials. Those are social media ads.
Hey, and I drink. I got a bunch of Rise right now.
I have Rise coffee. Maybe Mo, you should be doing those too.
Mushroom coffees. They send it to me. I got Anyway, but that's the whole thing. Yeah.
Yes.
I
did feel bad for her though, because when Tommy said, "Now my baby don't have to want for nothing," you could see her saying,
really?
He gotta get on it. But I want to say, if he wants to, he sounded conflicted, like he wants to chase his dream, not necessarily be the housing authority liaison. So if he wants to do that, is he going to resent you if he has to? Because she wants to have kids quick.
I will say this. The guy that gets the man that gets the woman he wants, especially at his age, I think you'll be ready not to let it go because you'll do it to feel the way you feel or look the way you want to look. Mm-hmm. But if you can get the woman you really wanted, you'll go out there and you'll make it happen. So I don't want to count that brother out because a lot of times they're doing it for the woman or for the women. You know what I'm saying? The attention.
They've been doing it for him thus far.
So I just think that, I'm not going to count him out. It might just be a side thing, but if he has what he wants, then he doesn't mind. And she's happy with the fact that maybe he works a different type of job or two jobs, but he still gets her. He's cool with it. I think a lot of men's fear is that if I don't have what she expects me to have, that she would leave me. But if her expectations are, look, this, that, and other, and he covers that, that man feels confident about being in that relationship. And that's a lot of dudes.
Okay. Last name first, I don't agree with this. Says they would never encourage a male high earner like Tay to get with a female version of Cisco. I don't agree with that. Male high earners get with broke women every day.
That's not true. I think that's almost I disagree with that as well. That's not true. That's not true.
I always tell men, men don't care how much a woman makes. They don't care.
There you go. I don't think that's true at all.
I disagree. Sean is what? Cisco's title was divisionary liaison. What we decided it was, Sean.
That's the first time I noticed his title. I did see that today.
I think that it was. We decided it was like when people get kicked out of the home of the housing authority apartments. He is the liaison. The bookman.
That is hilarious, by the way. But I think he is the guy, maybe the head of that.
Who said bookman? I'm not gonna play games.
But
Where is it?
that is
Antoinette.
Oh God. Woo.
Guys, so my question before we move off of Cisco and Tae, let's talk about their. I like being a housing bouncer. I'm just laughing because y'all are stupid. Oh God. Hey, no question to you. I do think that Cisco, I have been saying it's really important for the man to like the woman a lot, to be attracted to her and be excited about her. And I feel like Cisco always was about Tae. The way he checked that girl and was like, don't play with Tae like that. Tae is beautiful. Like that may be the girl to inspire him. But will he resent her later if he feels like he gave up his dream of bodybuilding?
You will resent the woman that you were either on the fence about or you necessarily didn't like, and then was like, this is loving this kind of because of my situation. This is the best thing I got going. I don't think this is that. I really don't. I don't think he would. I think as long as she made him feel good about after he got off work 3 or 4 times or whatever many days a week, he still worked out, because I do believe just the workout part of it was part of his fashion, part of his passion, pardon me. So no, I don't. I think it's like that when it's the woman you didn't necessarily pick or want in the first place. But when the guy picks the woman that he really wants, accepts him, I think guys you can be comfortable in that space.
I hope so, because I know there's a lot of resenting around.
Nope. But that's because
call him the wait staff. Tasha says he looks like the wait staff. I don't think so. I don't think so. I'm gonna put it up there.
You know why? Because he didn't have a jacket on. That's the only reason why.
But I think the jacket would have been too much.
No, it was, and I think somebody said that to him. But that's a tuxedo. That's
definitely the pants were too. Tammy says, would Gun Boss give his daughter that advice? What advice? The advice that Tommy gave? No, I don't think so. I mean, he's not here to speak up, but I don't think he would. I wouldn't give my daughter that advice.
I would say this. If you've been around the young man and he's...
First of all, he's not a young man.
No. Oh, well, you know what? You're right.
He's a 42-year-old man.
But and for conversation's sake, but let me say this: you're 1,000% right. The fact that he's not a young man, no. But if he's a young man and he has ambition, and you see it, him up. He has work ethic. I would tell him at a certain point, do not give up on him, because the dude that's trying is going to eventually get it at a younger age. But
I agree. If it was my daughter's almost 30. I would tell my daughter, and really her age is getting to that point. But if he was doing something and he was focused, that's the thing, is he was disciplined and focused. I wouldn't tell her. And she's not materialistic like that. There's a lot of girls her age that only want men with a lot of money. She actually respects somebody's hustle. So I wouldn't tell her that. But again, that's at 29, not at 40. Or Tae is like in her mid-30s. And if he's 41, I feel like you know, you got to give him, you got to hold him accountable. And I also want to say this. Most people who go through divorce experience a financial deficit. That's just a part of divorce. And that's just, I don't care who you are. I don't care how much money you have. You got to pay, you take a financial loss. You take a credit loss. That's just part of it, right? But I don't think that it's the other person's job to get you back in place. I think they can inspire you, but I think you have to pull from within. One of the things that worries me about Cisco is that he cries a lot. And there's nothing wrong with crying. I'm not saying that men shouldn't cry, but I think that he has a lot going on emotionally that he may not be stable with. He seems very sensitive to, I mean, he cried with the girl. What was the girl that had the hands, the mittens on? The girl with the naked girl. Come on. The girl that he went out with in that picture, she had the mittens on. What was her name?
I don't know that lady's name, but I know who you're talking about. And actually, physically, I don't think that was his thing, but mentally and how supportive.
Shanice. Thank you, Shanice. Yes, Shanice.
Thank you.
He cried several times. He cried when he sent her home. He cried when he was saying how she gave him spiritual counsel. He's cried in a couple of confessionals, and when he was talking to his people and like it's a lot. He's very emotional.
It's a symbolization of him. That lets you know at that point, this is a year later or so, at that point, when somebody does that, they're in the thick of it.
Yeah.
Right then at that moment, whenever that was being, whenever that was said. So, and it was deep, and because it hits home.
Yeah.
Home a different way. I mean, stuff can hit home because that's where you were. But this was, to me, it felt like this is where he is at that moment.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I'm just saying if he's in a vulnerable place, that's not the best time. But you know what? That is the easiest time to get in a relationship, because sometimes we want somebody to love on us so we don't have to do the work ourselves. But specifically for a man that eventually wants to lead, you got to do the work yourself, brother, so that you can be a leader.
Yeah, you know what it is, and that's I would just say that's a hard. Like, that's one of those things that's easier said than done, especially, people, companionship, because that's a very lonely space.
It is.
But it can be done with discipline.
Yeah.
This is why I say loose women are necessary, because they can get you over the hump. I'm just going to say this. And they can get you. Now, I'm not saying you lean on them, because hopefully you can't lean on them.
He cannot afford that right now, because you're going to have to pay her something for her services.
Not all the time.
Just saying.
But I just think that brother is going, at that time they recorded this, that's why the brother was so touched, but it was happening in real time. And I don't know if he knows this now, but dog, if somebody doesn't, you can't really blame them, because the thing that we notice is that once people get on their feet, everybody's humble when they need something or they're in a bad space.
Yeah.
And it's hard to judge people then.
I agree. But I don't, Nola says salary don't make a person. It doesn't. But I do think that purpose and positioning do. And I think when you're not in a place where you know who you are and where you fit and what you need to be doing, it's hard, especially if you want to lead.
But it's not only salary, but you got on salary doesn't. But at the same time, when you're in that space, you're not you, and you want somebody to judge you based on you. How can I judge you based on you when you're not you.
Yeah, that's true. Now, Tasha and a few people in the chat, that's why I put this up there. They said men crying has been a new manipulation tool they use on women. A few people said that he was crying to manipulate. I don't think he was crying to manipulate because he was in the confessional. He was at the table. He cried the time he said that.
She was leaving. What did he get out of her leaving? And he was crying.
He has cried the entire time.
A man could be sensitive and be like, I've been in situations realizing, I didn't cry, but realizing I'm hurting this.
What's the point?
Huh?
Well, if you didn't cry,
no,
how are you related to this?
I felt tears.
Where?
I knew I was hurting this person, and it did not make me feel good.
Okay, so that's one time. So when he let Shanice go, you could understand why he cried then. Why did he cry tonight?
Cry because of love.
They say he's an actor. He's using the show as an audition. Now, I will say that they do kind of remind me of like Mike and Shay because they like each other from the beginning. And Mike from the first season did go on to become an actor. I don't necessarily think the show is what put him over the edge because I know he's done a lot of work, but to get himself in that position, we know Mo's friend Chris Ruffin is out here acting in shows, in indie shows as well. So maybe he's trying to do that. But I don't think that the tears are fake. I think the tears are real because they're coming up at inopportune times.
Yo, if a dude could cry on command, that's a hell of a talent.
I don't think he's crying. I think he's just really sensitive. Chris Ruffin was on Ready to Love before. Chris, the one that
he was a small dude weighing 150 pounds, and he looked like a weekend. He cried. Y'all could see it. I think that he's a big guy and he's sensitive. Y'all can't. Y'all. No,
I don't think I think it's that he cries a lot. I mean, it's a lot of times. That's what I think. Because I don't have a problem with it. I just think that he's going through something, and that's not the time to get into a relationship. I think he's going through something.
I agree with you.
Yeah, I mean, when I've gone through something, I was crying all the time. Any little thing, I'd be like. But if I'm not going through something, I'm probably not as sensitive. I think he's going through a lot. I think that when we saw his sister, that sister and him, it's just not. He's got some stuff. He has some trauma that is very close to the surface.
How old is that brother?
41.
I'm not saying this is his situation, but let's say I'm sleeping in my mother's couch. I don't have
his mother are not getting along, but maybe he was at her couch before.
I whatever it is, I'm in a messed up situation, and then I'm going through this. Like, do I think this vehicle is the thing to go on or whatever? Maybe not, but maybe this is a lick for him because he knows he's going to get exposure. Someone seen him at the Black Rodeo or something the other week. Somebody put that.
He's a very good-looking guy. I think he definitely, if he could act, he probably would get an opportunity.
He looked like he could be in the Tyler Perry movie. I'm gonna put that out there.
Yeah, and that's what somebody said. You heard it here first. I do think that Tyler would see him and come a calling. I do.
Calling for what?
You know, you already know. You know. Leading man roles. But yeah, I like Cisco. I want him to win, but I just don't necessarily think that he's ready to be in a relationship. I think that it's going to be a lot of heavy lifting on Tae, and I think if she wants to have children in the next 2 years,
how about that?
It's not. Because and it was so crazy, ladies. We got to do better. You sent home the man that said that had a good job, that said he would be ready to have children in 3 to 4 years. You wanted 2 to 3 with this man who doesn't even have a car. He's not going to be ready. He's not going to be ready. And if you do it because you're ready with him, you're going to end up taking care of him and the kids.
let me tell you something. A man winds up being in love with you. You could have knocked down them 2 or 3 years to a year and a half.
We said that. Yeah, that's not good, Tay. That was wrong.
And that's the thing. I've seen women have power in their vagina and other. You had power. You could have knocked down that 2.5 to 3 to a year and a half.
But this is true. This is what it really was. She just didn't like him. She liked Cisco. She liked Cisco, and she was trying to find, because when you like somebody and you're not really attracted to the other person, you're gonna find a reason. Because she got mad, and it was only a year difference. She just didn't like him like that, and we can't tell that woman what she was. I agree, boss. She was not attracted to Khalil, because if that was not enough. She was just looking for anything. When you get to that point where, and especially when it's somebody that you really like, and you're comparing them, you're gonna pick the person that you really are attracted to, and then that somebody else, you will look at same thing as Cam with Angie and Sahara. You mad at Angie because she bust the windows out, but Sahara's sitting here with a neck tattoo. No disrespect to the neck tattoos. I'm just saying she probably bust a few windows out too. And I feel like if you asked Sahara, she would tell you yes. Like she wasn't really hiding nothing. They saying she wants Cisco to stay home and homeschool the kids. I don't think so. I don't think so.
I don't believe it. I ain't going for that one.
DC says, Crystal, did you notice that Cisco and Tae were not seen together in the reunion clip? Of course we did. Of course we did. That reunion clip just let us know that we need to be here bright and early.
What?
Bright and early on Friday.
Yeah.
Bright and early. Yes, bright and early. All right, let's move on to Cam.
Yeah. Move on to it.
Let's get to Cam and not the shoulder shifty.
Clock it. Ain't that what they say? Clock it. Fuck out.
Let's get to it. You guys know what we're here to do. We are here to talk about Miss Mamas. Miss Mamas that turned the whole finale upside down. Let me say something first. Because Mo and I were going back and forth about this, okay? I actually understand why she picked herself. The fact that she did start an argument on the finale was new. That has never happened in the history of Ready to Love. Has a person ever picked a fight as the other person was trying to pick them? That was crazy. But I do want to say, you cannot play in my face. And a lot of women just want to be picked so bad. But the fact that she was like, no, you didn't even know up until last night, 12 hours before, if you wanted me. So guess what? I don't want you. And she warned him at the date with her cousin. She said, no, her sister, she said, I have to pick first. She said, do you have a decision yet? Do you know? I'm not asking you to tell me what it is, but do you know? He said no. At that point, and she had to pick first, because you guys know how this goes. You have to tell production your answer. So she didn't even know that he wasn't picking Angie, that you don't get, the other girl doesn't come out. I don't blame Sahara. What I do blame her for is the toxic way that she attempted to pick a full out argument during the finale. That was wild. She could have just said her piece and took her behind on home, but she wanted to fight.
You finished?
I'm finished.
I disagree. I believe let the process be the process. I'm not telling you early. Maybe I'm sure, and I don't want to tell you when you run with it and you, or let me, I just want to be super sure. I want to lock in. I know it's you, but let me sleep on it. Let me, the fact that you don't want to, and she said she didn't want to know, but once I told you I know, then you're going to push me to, is it me? and I don't want to do any of that. Maybe that was the case, but respect the process, then respect the process. And she didn't want to do any of that. And it's just a sign of who she is, whatever it is. If are you going to marry me? Because I looked at that like, okay, let's say this was a proposal. I want to know if you're going to marry me or not.
Yeah.
We're about to have this baby and da 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 da. No, tell me now. And I'm hearing all this, and I'm just like, that pressure is not good. You're not letting me lead at this point. Listen, just respect the process and go with it. And at the end of the day, he had her. He's always said, yo, you were my one. He just had a speech and a date with her. Be confident in that. If he didn't pick you, then everything that you displayed before he even gave you an answer, then you could have gave that to him. And I would have had no problem. But the fact that he was going to choose you and you came in here with this, you already came in there with that energy. I don't think that was any good. And I'm glad he saw that, and it didn't work because, you know, that was the side he didn't see. His family was like, yo, you're used to picking this type of woman, and it didn't work. Like, grow up. You've seen the show. Wait here. It's not like you don't know what he was. At least if you had to ask him afterwards, then ask him what was the dilemma once he picked you. And it could have been something minute. It could have been something extreme, but you don't know what it was. But give that brother a chance. But it was like I told y'all, I already saw the toxic stuff in there. And I think you asked me last week or the week before, what did you see? And I was like, it's that energy. It just wasn't a situation that presented itself for her to display it. Well, we saw it this evening. And she did exactly, and she displayed the energy. Because I didn't know she was going to do this, just to be honest.
That was wild. Even how she was in the confession, that was wild.
I just seen, once you do all this.
You got a problem with the shoulder shimmy.
I know that replaced the neck roll. You know how, that replaced it. For her anyway, it was bound to come, and I'm glad the brother didn't see it. You don't have any kids. You got a great job. You a catch, brother, and you don't need to waste it on that because that wasn't never going to work for the long haul. I already know. That's it.
He is. I think he's unsure of himself. Under the olive branch, it said that's what he gets for saving her. Sahara should have went home. She's been on the chopping block more times than anyone in Ready to Love history. That's what he gets. I don't think she's been on the chop. I think there was other people that were on the chopping block just as much as her. Last name first says Cam overplayed his hand and ended up 3 books short. And said men live shorter lives. Now you should have moved like you wanted somebody for real. I agree.
I'm not mad at that.
I agree. I agree he was full of it. I think that he should have known the other guys knew what they wanted. He pulled it out too long. He was going back and forth. It was just, I don't think there's anything wrong with a woman saying, guess what? I respect your process, but your process of you not knowing that I'm the one has now let me know that I don't want you. I think that's okay.
I believe I'm not mad at that, but yeah. I didn't have a problem with that part. If she would have said that at the dinner.
She did kind of say that because she did say.
But did like Hussein did.
Oh, eliminated herself.
Like I would have, but for you to get there when you knew he had the decision to make, and the decision was you. If you would have did it at the dinner, you wouldn't even hear my mouth right now.
No. But there are, Tracy, Cherie, I agree. I don't think the issue was that he didn't pick her. I think the issue was that he was still undecided one day. Not even one day. She said 12 hours. That's crazy. But what I do think is this. I think that there have been other people who got to the end and chose themselves. That has happened before. I'm okay if you choose yourself. It's just the way that she did it. She wanted to argue. And then saying, suck these can't, like, that was really low. Like, she didn't belong on that show. She didn't belong on that show.
My time is my time. Respect my time. If I got 1 hour,
but you gotta respect the fact that I don't want to be. If you don't know, I'm not going to stay here. But I still shouldn't want to fight. Like I shouldn't want to pick an argument because of it.
Because of it. That's what I'm saying. If you felt that way, you could have did that at the dinner with your sister, like Hussein did, and I ain't got no problem with that.
Oh, or she could have just came and said, you know what? After he did all his talk, she should have let him talk. Because it really would have been a better look for her if she let him talk, give her whatever was in that box. And then said, you know what, I appreciate that. But because you couldn't see the value in me and you took too long, I chose myself. I had to make my decision and you did not make me feel secure. So I chose myself. That would have been a better way to end the episode. But picking an argument while he's trying, he didn't even get to give her the gift. I want to know what was in the box. Everybody else brought flowers. He brought a box. Before he bought her some oils. I want to know what was in the box.
Chocolate.
That would have been a very basic.
Chocolate.
Basic. Yeah, she said, suck these Cam. Like, it was wild how she gestured. Like, it was not, it proved that it really made me feel like the one guy that was trying to get her to leave, trying to get them to kick her out. What's his name?
What's the brother name?
Fisk or something like that. I think he was right. She really shouldn't have been on that show because the way she acted was just no class. I agree with what she did, but the way she did it.
Cam,
Fritz. Yes, Fritz. I was like, Fritz. That made me feel like Fritz was vindicated. He was like, I told y'all that B was crazy, and I was right.
I told y'all she was. Listen, Cam owes that brother an apology. Be like, yo, I didn't see it coming. But Cam was hypnotized with his type. And that's where a lot of brothers get caught up. Even myself, even
everybody, women too. Gary says, low key, Cam likes that kind of woman. I think so too, because he was really drawn to her the whole time. I feel like she was pissed with his indecision, and I think most women would be. I think most women would be like, dude, I'm not, because again, she had to give her choice. And if you are going back and really. Cam, he kept saying that she was, but y'all saw how he was talking to Angie. He's indecisive.
Hold on. No, hold on. Now you gotta understand what she did to old boy and what she was doing. So Cam had to respect that to a certain degree. Like the more and more I think about it, even though it's still the same thing I'm saying, but I'm just finding more points. It was like, because you picked, I guess, after you went to the crib, because you were still letting someone, Jay, smack your butt. You see what I'm saying? It's like, because your time became before my time, it doesn't mean that I value any less. I just took more time to figure my stuff out.
No, Mo, I'm not rolling with that.
Nah.
I'm not rolling with it, because she was really, like, they even had a date. They went on a boat. They had a date. They talked. He gave her those oils. But he kept saying he wasn't sure. He didn't know.
He should have had confidence in that and let him complete the process.
No, I don't think so. I think she did the right thing. I think she just should not have done it like that. But Cam was getting irritated with having to make the decision with all the women. Everybody was irritated with him. Rose, Angie, and Sahara. Don't act like Sahara's the only one. Even Angie was like, what do you know, now Angie didn't care because she really only wanted to get to the bed. But I'm just saying, they all were saying, look, you got to make a decision. Like, he was pulling it out too far.
It's called my decision for a reason. Respect.
Everybody has a decision. The girls do too.
All right. That's the gamble of the whole show.
Ain't nobody just letting you go up to the very last minute and make a gamble on them. I'm out.
Sometimes we don't know until we get there. Like, nah, man.
Well, then as Cam learned tonight, which was, I see why women live longer than men. Yeah, because a woman, you know, if you first of all, you're on TV and knowing that he has 3 connections and you have 1, you kind of letting him play in your face anyway. Because the men who really want the women they're with, Cisco was locked in, Jay was locked in.
You know what? That is true.
Yes, thank you.
Phrase it like that. That is true. And the more I'm starting to think about it now, he's indecisive.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe it is the way. Okay, maybe it is the way she handled it, but she could have let him finish it and say it, or she could have did it the night before. So, because you phrased it different, and I thought about it different.
Well,
Okay,
thank you. This is the beauty of this show.
I,
But I think that you can do that.
I
But
don't like handled it. Okay,
yeah, it's just and I do think this. I think even beyond Sahara, because we all were kind of I knew that he liked her. I just because he presents so different than that, it was obvious that he likes that type, right? Because he gave her passes, he didn't give anybody else. But this is the thing about Cam. He's indecisive and he would be that way later on. He is not, it's not even just with Sahara. How he went back and forth with Rose, how he was upset with Angie, like it just, what is you doing? Pick and move it, keep it moving.
the Rose situation, that's what threw me off about him because I'm like, dog, you only saying that because you see a triangle attraction to you or energy towards you. One of them is starting to pay attention to somebody else a little too much, and now you want her to. And I don't think that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So okay.
I don't think, do you think, I think that he would have liked Rose. I think he knew that Rose really liked Hussein more. But I think Sahara was always the person that he had the most chemistry with. Angie, because even when Angie was trying to be all over him, did y'all see when Angie tried to kiss him and he didn't want to kiss her at the table with her family? Did y'all peep that?
I did peep that. So maybe it was. Let me see the less toxic person out the two, and that was his dilemma. Can we give him a pass or at least an understanding on that?
Tasha said he was on his menstrual cycle. Sir, get a tampon and move on. He was very temperamental.
I don't like that, Tasha. Get off the thing.
You don't tell her to get off. Tasha, you stay right there. You stay right there, Tasha. In fact, I will put it up. I'm going to put it up so people can read it.
Why y'all? Tasha, that's not fair. Come on, Tasha.
Hey, he was being hella sensitive. And like, why was he keep, and you know what? Okay, all right, you're gonna have to be fair. How I said I thought Kiara kept bringing up the situation with Jay. Cam kept bringing up she busted windows out the car. She said she did it. She stood on business. She never took it back. Why are we talking about it every single time we sit down? Shut up about it. Move on. And either if you don't like her, move it. Move around, sir.
And that's what I think he was thinking of the less toxic out the two.
But he likes toxic.
He does. I'm starting to see that it's some of that energy he does like, and maybe that makes him feel like they really, really care. And that's not caring, that's just, I don't know what that is.
Or maybe he just thinks that other women, I don't know, something is wrong. There's some type of deficiency there.
No, there's a lot of people like that.
Yeah, I mean, because maybe he feels like he needs somebody that has a flaw so he can be in control of them or something, like you said that one week.
No, but that's true too. Or some people really think that's love, or really, really invested if they do that.
I just think there's something about him that gives me he wants to be controlling.
It's possible, yeah.
But I mean, why? Because really, at the end of the day, hey, if she says she busts windows at the car and you don't like that, quit asking her about it.
And she doubled down on it.
Yeah, time after time. He brought that up just as many times as Kiara brought Jay up talking to Sahara.
He did. Be fair, he did.
I got sick of him talking about it. I was like, oh my God, either protect your windows or move on. Jesus.
He did.
Acting like he's hurt because that's what she said she did. She did. She that's who she is.
But let me ask you this: do you believe that people who accept or deal with toxic behavior are just as toxic as the people that dealt it?
Yes, because you actually go out of your way. How in the heck did Cam end up with 2.5 of the most toxic people on the cast?
It's true. It's true.
It ain't by the, it's not by coincidence.
And,
You attracted that because that's what you like, because you are toxic too.
and do you think that if that's what you've grown up possibly seeing, and then let's say the first person you dealt with, or maybe the second person you dealt with, that's how they were. So that's how you think people express love. Now you know that's not right, but you think that's love. Could that be possible?
That could be possible, but I just don't think that was true in his situation. Let me ask you a question. Out of the three women, who did you feel like when you watched the show he was more into?
It was Sahara. I don't understand why, because I don't understand why, but that's what it was.
But Nola said he couldn't lead her. Honestly, he couldn't lead any of them. Sahara is going to lead herself. Rose is going to lead. Like, it's not by coincidence that Cam ended up with them. Not only, because you guys are forgetting, we're talking about Rose busting the windows out the car, but that wasn't the most alarming thing that Rose said. The most alarming thing that she said was that she did not let her child's father drive her to the hospital because she doesn't trust a man leading. That was more toxic than the busting the windows out the car.
Who's though?
No, it was Angie. I mean, Angie. That was Angie. That's what I'm saying. Angie was the one that he was saying she busted the windows out the car. But what about the fact that she said she does not trust a man to lead? That she wants to lead. She wants to lead. She's not going to give in. He still was running after her.
So let me ask you this. Do you think if someone feels like that, said that, and then feels like that, could that ever change?
Who are you talking about? For Cam or for Angie?
For Angie to say that, do you think that once she makes that statement, could she change? Or if that's the way she's always going to feel?
Angie is in her 40s and she was doubling down on it. So I think that's because you guys, she never said she wanted to change. She said, this is how I am. That's what she said. She said she explained why, but she never said, I want to find a man that I can be different with. She just was like, this is just how I am. This is how I've had to be. I have this. And then she made excuses for it, but she never, ever said that she wanted to move past that. I paid attention to that because just like we're talking about Cisco's in his 40s, she's in her 40s too.
That's hey, she said what she said. That's fair. You're right.
So I just feel like it's not you guys do please like and subscribe, all the wonderful people watching. Y'all caught up in the conversation, but please like.
We got that. Bring up the likes, please.
Yes, but yeah, he did. I feel like, you know how pastors be asking people to put money in a collection plate. I don't be liking that, so I don't be liking to beg y'all to do that. But I just expect that y'all come here and y'all like our conversation. We're laughing, having a good time. That y'all would just go on and show us some love.
Especially if you're participating.
Yeah, I don't want to be like the pastor talking about a building fund. I just want y'all to like it. But yeah, I feel like Angie was real clear. She was clear about being sexually attracted to him and being focused on the sex appeal, right? She was clear about the fact that she has an issue letting men lead. And that story about, do you know, I mean, the women on here that have had children, when you are in labor, the fact that you would not, I don't care if he did have a suspended license, I would take a chance because you're having contractions. Having contractions and driving yourself is deep.
But let me ask you this. But to a brother coming in, you just haven't, and maybe we could, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's a little tricky. That's a little.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Tell me what you mean.
Because she feels that way doesn't mean that she's always going to feel that way, and maybe she just hasn't met the right man, and that guy talking to her might feel like he's the right man. So it's like
I agree, Joda. But what would make you feel like in her 40s, because she did not say that she wants to change? I mean, would you step up and want to do that?
That's tricky, because once I say that, then a woman will say, well, you don't know, I might want it if it's the right guy. So
but she did not say that, though.
She didn't say that, but it's like, okay, so does no man ever try to talk to her and just leave her there? That's what I'm saying.
They are going to, you know what they're going to do? And I've learned this from you and my other guy friends. They're going to put her in a category of being a fun girl, and she's going to like that category, and that's where she's been. She gives me that type of vibes anyway. She's a bartender. She knows the guy that does the sex parties. She bartends at the sex parties. She's talking about having sex with Cam. She's not being serious and being really authentic and trying to make herself better for a relationship.
No, she very well might think that way. And even if you tell her, I know some women that they say they're changing or going through change, whatever it is, and then, but they will still show that. So yeah. You're right. And the fact that she's not even saying,
that's the, you can't put something on somebody that they don't say.
No, you're right.
And she was, and the thing about it, she had ample opportunity to say it because she was questioned about it. So she could have easily said, I want to get to that place. She was questioned ad nauseum about it. She did not say that she wanted to do that. She made up an excuse and said, this is who I am. I've always been the caretaker. She didn't say she wanted to.
You're right. The ones that want you to accept that, that's what, you're right. I hope, and this goes men and women. I don't want to just put this on the, like, when you see people like that, and there's no saying like, I really want to, or and they just be like, yo, this is me. That's dumb, man. Especially, what'd you say, 41?
41 or 42. Like this, people are who they are. Now you can, and I do agree with Steph. Steph said that's when Hussein became interested in Angie after the sex talk with his friends. I think so too. But I think that Hussein was trying to do the right thing, which is why he didn't keep her hanging on, because he knew that he didn't want anything else from her. Because he never really, she gave him that thing for his son, but he never really wanted anything else from her.
And that's the reason why you're really making your point now. Now I think about it. That's the reason why, because I would have expected her to be a little bit more sad. She took it on the chin way more.
She was happy. She was like, I'm so happy we had this talk. And I mean, she didn't care. She wasn't invested in that. She wasn't invested in none of them.
Women that take it on the chin like that, take it on the chin like that. I'll just say that. But you're right. You're right. And I hope a lot of brothers see that. I hope a lot of women see that, because it can't go the other way around.
Yeah, she didn't. I don't think Angie connected with any of them. She was like, if it do, it do. If it don't, it don't. I don't really care. I'm just here. I'm here for a good time, not a long time. He looks good in a suit. He looked like he got some like, ooh, this is fun. But it was not really substance wise. And then Cam was trying to pull something out of her that was not there.
Got you. You're right. You're right. That's a good observation. You're absolutely right.
I definitely think Hussein was intrigued by the freak level, because we saw when his friends was asking about the fact that his friends were swingers, or one of them was a swinger, and they started questioning both Rose and the other ladies on the sex. I was like, yeah, that's something going on there. I don't like it.
In that situation, a man is most likely to ask, what was she doing?
What do you mean?
Like, if she says she was just bartending and cameras, whatever, they go away, and the guy goes there and be like, yo, bro, between me and you, how was she acting? Or what was the point? So that's,
and I'll tell you what, I have been around entertainment a long time. I've never been to anything like that. But what I do know is that people are going to hire people that are comfortable with what they're doing. You're not going to get a prude to come to that. Someone that's not down with it is not going to come bartend that.
But this is where women have the advantage.
Oh gosh. Frida, why do you think Hussein is bisexual? I didn't get that.
Oh, see?
I'm confused. What? I need you to explain, Frida. What?
I didn't get that energy. But the prettier the woman is, or the more, I shouldn't say pretty, the more we're attracted to the woman, the more we want to believe what she's saying.
That's true. And vice versa. Vice versa.
You know.
That's the whole problem with Tae and Cisco. She's like, he's fine as all get out. And she said that tonight. And I'm sure a lot of women feel like that about him. And so they want to believe they can be the one to change him. They want to save him. Hussein was not this. Well, yeah, Hussein was very disappointed. Didn't work with Rose. But I wonder why he let her go so quickly. I will say his haircut lasted for this episode also.
Principle. That's what it was.
Okay.
It was the principle of it. He didn't want to do it, but I don't even know if necessarily he didn't want to do it, but how it would have looked. Because remember, he said about his brother. He was like, you know how that looked in front of my brother?
Yeah.
It was him to go back from that because he's got to hear it from them.
Yeah, I noticed he said that a couple of times, but I also think it goes back to the fact that they knew. I think this was like building up with Rose, because Hussein and Cam both agreed, like, it's just something too good to be, like, she just says all the right things. They were both picking up on that. They both picked up on the fact that when they met with her ex, you know, it was almost like she had programmed him what to say. They could read through it. And just like women can see through when a man is doing that, men can see through when a woman is doing that. I needed to understand. Frida said his friends was given that they were knowing and spilling his sexual life, and he was in prison as well. That is a far jump. That's a far jump. I don't want to do that. We don't want to do that.
For the reunion to get into that.
Get into that because we don't know how long he was in prison or what, or jail or what. We just know that Rose came with ammunition, and there are no more petals on this rose. The real Rose came out in the end. She did. There are no more. The petals have all fallen to the side. Okay. Hussein was triggered with being blindsided. He had a traumatic experience at age 13 where he was blindsided by his mother. That's my analysis. I do think it was principle because he did not like the fact that she did. I mean, she did hide that, which was a form of a lie. But this is my thing. When Sahara sat down with Cam and said that she didn't have an ex that could come because her ex passed away, girl, you got more than one ex. Most of y'all did not bring an ex because y'all did not want to. That's the reality of this season.
I like that.
They just did not want to. They did not want to. So let's rate tonight's episode. We've all really enjoyed this. Let's rate tonight's episode. What would you give this? I will say this is going down in history because there has never been a finale where somebody tried to get into it about somebody picking them. That was crazy. Sahara is definitely would be memorable.
8.5.
I'm gonna rock with it. I'm gonna say 8.5 too. 8.5. This was a good episode. It was good. It was good. The only thing bad about it was Jay's outfit. And mostly the brown pants, but the fact that you came up with a black t-shirt on and brown pants, not slacks, not jeans, but brown pants is wild. I didn't. That's the only thing that made me sad. I don't think let's bet on who's going to be together at the reunion, if anybody. Who do you say will be together at the reunion?
It's only going to be Jay.
Jay may be being loyal to himself. No, you see Jay and Kiara are going to be together?
if there's anyone together, it's just them.
Yeah.
Because what I would have noticed was they said they saw Cisco at the rodeo. They didn't see her.
No, they weren't sitting together either. I knew Tay wasn't gonna really be able to handle that because she really didn't fit. She wasn't feeling it early on. It just she was so physically attracted to him. She probably wanted to, you know, experience it, and that was it. You know, she wasn't gonna be able to do that long term. Not having a car and not having a place to live. There's what are we doing? What are we doing?
41.
What are we doing? Like I can't do. You can't move in with me. You cannot move, and I'm not coming to pick you up all the time. So what are we doing?
Yeah, because brothers like that, every time they come to stay the night, they bring in more and more stuff and ain't taking nothing back with them.
I mean, he just got to get it together on his own. We're not saying he's a bad person, but it's not a woman's responsibility to put you together. That's not cool. That's not cool.
I actually like Cisco.
I do too. I really do too. I think he's a good dude. I think, and I will say this. I think he will like himself better if he does it on his own.
But you don't. I think what happens with that, they have to experience that, man. And this is where we talk about, mastering your desires, because that's what it is, man. You become grown and you like dealing with, female energy and that kind of thing, and it's hard to solely focus on you because you start to think about it when you're on your downtime. And your downtime is where you can get caught up and get lured back into moving the way you used to move. That downtime to get you, man. Hopefully,
But why can't you use that as motivation to get back there? Because you gotta know, men have to know at this point, at 41,
you feel the way you feeling, and it's not because you're used to it. It's like breaking a habit. Breaking habits a lot of times are not used to it. Females, and obviously, I'm assuming he's not a virgin, and it's just like,
he's been divorced, right?
What I'm saying, so and it's not relationship. It's just that female energy, and sometimes guys feel like they need to sell relationships to get female energy.
Yes, I do know that.
And then y'all get mad when he frowns upon and purchases that female energy. But a lot of guys, in order to get it, and that's all they want, they don't have to. They feel the need to.
When you can't afford it, you have to put your energy into yourself.
You're
going to be able to get a better situation. Like say he really, really, I don't mean to preach, but there is a story in the Bible.
Here we
It is. It's a story in the Bible where this guy loves this woman and he goes and works 7 years to have her, right? All Cisco has to do is go get himself together. If he really, really liked Tay, he could, chances of her getting married in Philly in the next year, I don't know what those stats are, but I would say he had very good odds of being able to beat her, getting a fiance and getting married. If he went actually and worked on himself, got himself together, stayed in touch, and then came to her on a different level. Now it's a different conversation. There's a different potential of respect, and you're going to feel better about that.
I'm glad you said that. And it's not even 7 years, 7 years in biblical terms, but 6 months. You'll be surprised locking in, and I'm not saying it's easy, but locking in for 6 months to turn your life around if you really dedicate yourself to that. And this brother might be in a total position now. We're just thinking.
But it also could be, what he said tonight really, really made me think this is why. But if you're waiting on a dream, right? You're waiting on, and I know there are a lot of people that have dream, and I'm not saying that you should not, I'm not saying that you should not have a dream if he wants to be an actor, but you can't expect other people to have the same dream as you. Nobody's dream is to have a 41, 42, 43-year-old man with no job and no car and no place and have children with him. So if your dream is to be an actor at that age, you may have to do that alone, and you cannot blame anybody for doing that. And then when you get where you want to go, you may be able to go and get a woman that you would want. But you can't expect anybody to come along and journey with you that is your vision. You cannot do that.
You can't do that. And this is why I keep trying to say loose women are necessary.
How do you keep ending up here? This doesn't even make any sense.
I'm just saying.
How do you keep ending up here? I'm like, how do we get where we keep? I feel like we're in a car. You keep turning us down this road.
Because you don't have to be tied down to them, but you could be physically fulfilled and keep it moving.
You still gotta pay for them. He doesn't have a car or a place to live. Where is he gonna bring them? They cannot get in the back seat. Jesus. Jeez Louise, Mo.
I tried, Cisco. Damn it, I tried.
Those loose women, even loose women have a price. Depends on the level of woman.
Yeah, because she don't have a price and she is loose. You don't want her.
He just needs to get himself together. I told y'all the story when I was dating that guy. I went on a couple of dates and he was working out 4 hours a day at the gym and also working just 4 hours at his job. I don't want that. I left immediately.
Men just try to figure out if they got an itch, it needs to be scratched. And a lot of times they don't know where to go or what to do. It's not going to hold them up. They just need an hour.
But again, that's not our burden to bear.
It's not. It's not. That's why we're not talking to y'all. We're talking to the loose ones. It's not.
No, he probably could get some because he's good looking.
No, he 1000% can, and you don't have to fake a relationship to do it. But even so, all jokes aside, once you start to really master your desires and you move around in this world, even if you want to be in something and you're coming across the wrong women, once you master that, just to be real, man, and you don't want no games, they can't use that as leverage, because a lot of times that is used against you as a man. They know that you want that. But if you're not showing those signs of that and you're focused on your mission and you're locked in, you got your blinders on, they can't use that against you, and you kind of weed them out. Stay strong, brother. I hope you do it. I hope you already got it now. If not, I hope you do get it. And that's to all people trying to figure out, man, because once the thing is out the bag, you can't put it back in. I mean, it's hard to put it back in, literally sometimes, to like, yo, I don't have a desire to do this with women or
last name first says, why are you itching unemployed? I mean, I guess the itch doesn't go away even if they're unemployed.
Feeling is the feeling, man. Men do, you see the news like I see the news, and you can look up stuff. It's a lot of men from all backgrounds, from all occupations, from all different walks of life, rich, poor, whatever. This is the thing. So I don't want to blame it just on guys who are possibly in his position. These are men with a bunch of money, family, kids, and they're ready, or they, I don't think they think about it like that, but they risk it all. So it's not just him. Let's be clear.
DC, this is a strange testimony. She says, Crystal, I had a friend who was 64 years old and was an entrepreneur and lost everything. I was willing to help him, but he was rude and not a nice person. Yeah, he was rude and not a nice person because he wasn't on his stuff. Men are not nice when they don't have their stuff together. They are not nice at all. They are mean because they're not happy with themselves. Like, if you're not, somebody said that Cisco was good looking, so he probably could get a woman. And I think maybe he should have been a gigolo. He definitely could have done that.
How long that's going to last?
Isn't there a song about a gigolo?
How long is that going to last?
Is it by Nick Cannon?
It is him and the other guy. But these are older women that go on cruise ships. And I mean, come on now.
Hey, they may want something nice for the night. You know, I'm a gigolo.
You got to get on the cruise ship. It costs money to do that.
Well, you could probably get a woman to take you on there.
There was a guy called the...
Hold on, I got to get this as his gun boss column. Hold on. Talk amongst the people, Mo.
There was a guy called the Sweetheart Swindler. He would go from cruise ship to cruise ship. I want to say he was based out of Miami. You can look it up. And this was his thing. Had a trail of women who gave their retirement money, so on and so forth. And he wound up getting caught. and women, I don't know how many.
The Sweetheart Swindler.
You can look at it. It's called The Sweetheart Swindler. I want to say he was based out of Miami, and this was his hustle. He was a gigolo. He's an older guy, but not older than them, if I'm not mistaken. But wine and dine, he probably looked like Cary Grant or one of these dudes, Sean Connery, and was sweeping these women off their feet, siphoning money out of their bank account, whatever he did. Yeah. But this was his hustle.
There are a lot of men let's just be honest. There are a lot of men specifically, well, I won't say that because I don't want to throw shade at a whole region, but there are a lot of Nigerian men that are reaching out to American women and forming relationships with them. I don't think he should do that. I think that he just needs to, like Mo said, focus for 6 months. You will be surprised.
You'll be surprised if you lock in for 6 months. It's not a hard thing to do because you don't look at 6 months. You look at 1 month at a time and you start to see what it is. Let's say your job and you're not making much, but you're not dating. And then you look at the money you save. You'd be like, wow, I have more than what I had before. And you don't realize that the money is no money is going out. And then you lock in. Maybe you don't get all the whatever it might be, food, or you're going
protein, the creatine powder.
It maybe that. Whatever.
But I think if he wants to be an actor and a bodybuilder, he may just have to be single and for a while until he gets to that dream. I just think if you want to dream, you can do it, but you can't expect somebody else to come along on that dream with you. That's not fair, specifically when they want children. So we wish him well, but I don't think that was going to work. I think Tae is a smart young lady. She just, she got sidetracked, and every single one of y'all that are saying, I don't care that he looks good. Yeah, that's what you say. So that man is in your face, hugging you with those arms, and then let's see what you say.
But that's what I mean about the fellas. We could say lock in until you go out and you're really minding your business, and then you get that flirtation from that woman. I'm not saying it's an easy thing to do, but it is a necessary thing to do if you're in that position.
It is. Well, we gave it an 8.5. We are excited about the reunion coming up next Friday.
This might be the best yet. As far as
I think that this is definitely going to be one for the books because I've never seen any commercials like this before.
It was a lot of confronting.
I've never seen somebody accused of being in jail. Now, on the first season of Rated Love, there was a gentleman that had spent some time on vacation, locked up, but nobody knew, right? It didn't come out. I just a blogger happened to send me a bunch of stuff afterwards, but I've never seen somebody accused of being in jail. We have seen people be accused of having a baby. But this looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. Mo, did you know, fun fact, Ready to Love in Houston, a young lady was on the show and was 5 months pregnant.
I did not know this.
Well, now you do. And she came on here and I managed to get it out of her. It was back when I was doing the big interviews. We had a bunch of different, a lot of views on these interviews. But yes, I said, well, what? She was 5 months pregnant and she said she had a right to love too. And it turned out that that was when they were on the resort because it was COVID. And the guy said that her room, she always had good snacks.
Oh, shit.
Yes, they said that she had good snacks in her room. She was unapologetic. She was unapologetic. She ended up going home, but she was pregnant. And she said what had happened was she got accepted, but then because of COVID, they didn't go straight away. And then when the opportunity to film, she didn't feel like she should have to not be on the show.
Of course would it make sense to get knocked up in COVID? You're in the house, ain't nothing else to do.
And then you could get the call like you can be on Ready to Love. And she wasn't with the baby daddy. It was horrible.
But didn't I say that with one of the shows, I was like, I think he has a girlfriend, and by the time the show they got on it, he had. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
A lot of time. I will say this, like, I think I we got to be real careful, like even in this situation with what is it Cam and
Sahara.
right, well just Cam period, because I see them confronting him with a lot of stuff, like the stuff they could be confronting him with could be after the show.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, at the end of the day, they didn't want Cam. Nobody wanted Cam, because if Sahara really wanted him, she wouldn't have played him off like that.
But my thing is, y'all didn't want Cam, y'all didn't want Eddie, y'all wanted who y'all.
Yeah, why they didn't want Khalil? It was wild. Philly was
Y'all
wild.
Y'all wanted the less threatening guys who would have got more attention than possibly you.
They did. They did want the least threatening. They did. They did. They did.
I've never seen, I've been watching but a few seasons, but that was kind of opposite of what, you know what I'm saying? Like the guys who probably would have got all the attention or at least some attention, you didn't want them. And I'm just curious to why. And it was really so hard,
That's what I'm saying. Like Cam should not have been the one that had the most women. That's wild.
Thank you for saying that.
That is wild. I think they let the wrong people go. They mismanaged the talent, and it was all bad. But you guys, we will be back on Wednesday with Dating Diaries. I will be doing reviews for the Bell Collective. I don't know if I'm going to be enjoying those reviews, but I'll be doing them.
Monday, 8 o'clock.
Yes, Monday, 8 o'clock, and also Monday, 10 o'clock for King's Court is gone. I wish they had a reunion for that. But I also want to tell you guys, in addition to that, Mo and I are going to be talking about, we have got to talk about Love and Marriage Huntsville this coming week. I watched the episode, but all the guys confronting each other. We finally see Marceau and Martell sit down. Now I will see Martell coming up this week. I'll post pictures. I will see him and Ariane. I'll give you guys a sneak peek of what I see at the event. I know they're definitely coming to the event that I'm going to next week. But I want to ask you guys before we leave, here is the question. Here is the question for the chat and Mo. All right, on Love and Marriage Huntsville, Destiny has the opportunity to date the god brother of a guy that she was dating before. Is that out of bounds? Is a god brother or god sister off limits? What say you, Mo?
It's tricky because she said she didn't know prior to thinking it, but nothing was offered to her.
Right.
Well, nothing was on the table, should I say. So I would say the fact that she knows before the guy even stepped to her, I would say no.
So you're saying it's not off the table?
No, it should be off the table.
I think so too. Yes, I am reviewing Heart and Hustle Houston. Steph, we've been doing it on the channel. Go back and watch. There's a wonderful episode a wonderful episode we just did about Chloe and her son that Coach Latanya joined me on. Yes.
Did you get the thing about the basketball game this weekend? Tomorrow?
What basketball game?
The celebrity basketball game where all the people gonna be here?
Oh, I did. But I will not. I'll be at that event earlier in the day.
Okay.
I'll be doing a panel there earlier in the day, but I don't think I'm going to suit up for that. And they asked me if I want to play in the basketball game. I've never played a game of basketball.
So we will not be there, or Crystal won't be there. But she asked me. I didn't know. I sent you it after she sent it to me. I told her I would get back to her. So yeah. Crystal will be there, but she won't be doing anything for me.
I may not be at the actual game, but I will be there earlier in the day for a panel. But yes, so I think it's off limits. I just think it's messy and it looks crazy. And Huntsville has to be big enough to where Destiny can find another man. But I can't wait for us to talk about this because I like to hear men talk about Mo talk about the interaction with the men. We see Ken saying that he does not know if he and Trish are going to get married. He feels like there's some issues. We see Ken's friend saying that he knows Ariane. We see Martell and Marceau going at it. And Chris Fletcher calls, actually, says both sides are full of it, because we learned that Marceau was talking about when they met 10 years ago, Martell was up and he was down. He was the manager of a movie theater. So all of this came out in the show, and we will be talking about it. So stay tuned. We'll let you guys know what day this week Mo and I will be doing a review. But I think there's a lot of history there that we can see. I think the fact that Martell, his story is not changing. It's crazy. There's a lot to unpack with Trish, Ken, Chris, Nell, Destiny, the God. It's just a lot going on. So stay tuned, and we'll definitely be sharing that. Yes.
The fight is on tomorrow. I'm a fight fan. That's boxing my favorite sport. So Canelo and Crawford are fighting tomorrow.
On Netflix, right?
You got Netflix. You can watch it at 9:00 tomorrow. The fight.
That's crazy. That's crazy. It's on Netflix. So it's going to be live?
Yeah, it's going to be live on Netflix tomorrow. All these sports, even regular sports, they're selling themselves to these networks that people pay for. But the fight will be on tomorrow. Canelo and Crawford, expect to be a super big fight. I'm excited because, like, I catch the other sports now and then, whatever. But I love the build up to boxing, and this is one of those ones. We got another one coming in November, but this is the big one right now. Canelo and Crawford.
And Crawford, okay. Antoinette said Marceau said he managed the movie theater and hired Marquez. Wow. So there's a lot to talk about. We got to get into that this week. Mo and I will let you know. So stay tuned. Make sure that you are subscribed. Make sure that you check out the Run That Back podcast on Tuesday nights, right? Tuesday.
Tuesday, we drop it Tuesday at midnight. And our next episode, C Boogie just sent it to me. I forgot, but the last episode we're up to 6,000. I'm super, super happy on that. We did Houdini. So thank you. And keep coming with it. Thank you.
That's dope. That is dope. All right. We love y'all. Have a good weekend. We will definitely, if we do anything, definitely post pictures and share that with you guys. Make sure that you are tuned in, subscribe. You like this on the way out. We love you guys for watching. Remember, 8.5 for tonight's episode. I got a feeling next week we may get to a 10. We may get to a 10 next week. We're going to see y'all next week. All right. Have a good one. Love you guys.
I'll be safe. Have a great weekend.